2025 is just around the corner, or maybe it's already here if you're watching this later. But the point is, this is the time of year where you get to start thinking about all the things you want to be crocheting in the next year. So let's go through my Pinterest board and we will talk about all the things you might want to crochet in 2025. So I've been saving a ton of stuff to my Pinterest board. I'll put the link to this in the description below if you want to join along, and that way you can see all the things that I've been pinning, and also you can click through and find links to any patterns that may exist for the projects, or you can get a bit more information about them. So I've been saving these pins over like the space of a few months, just getting really excited about 2025, and I'm definitely noticing some specific trends showing up through this board of different things I want to make. So I think I can almost categorize the different things that I'm excited about for crochet in terms of what to make next year. So we'll go through that. All right, so we're going to start with the project that I am 100% sure I'm definitely starting next. I am so excited about this one. I've been seeing it a fair bit over on TikTok and Instagram. It is the Realm Designs flower dress. I love this. It is so cute. She's done a top version, but the same pattern I think also works for the dress version, and I think I definitely want to do the dress. She did hers like calf length, and I saw, actually there was a fun video I saw the other day where she cut it up and made it into a mini dress, which was cool. But I think for me, I would definitely wear the longer length one, so I think that would be really good. I really love the colors in this one. I think it'd be nice to have a multicolor one, and then yeah, I think it'd look good over like a black slip dress, or over, yeah, white t-shirt and jeans would even be cute. For me, when I think about crochet, I quite often think of it being quite open work with lots of negative space in the design. I like the idea of using these sort of crochet pieces that are very open work to use as layering pieces. And I've seen this a little bit done before with the flowers that are joined up at the corners as you're making them, which also I think would be a really fun process for making it. So you make one flower, and then when you're making the next one, you join it along at the petals. So it's a join as you go process, so you won't have anything to sew up at the end, which also sounds really good. This cardigan or jumper version of it looks cute too. I'm not quite sure what the front of it looks like, but I really like that. So I'm definitely going to start the year off with this Realm Designs dress. I think it's going to be a really fun one to make. If any of you have made it, let me know how you went with it. I'm guessing it might take a little bit of time, this one, so I reckon it's going to be good to do over the holiday break. And then in a similar vein to these open work florals is the mesh dresses that I've been seeing around. I really like these. I feel like it'd be a fun one to make, probably quite quick to make up too, just because it's so open work. And again, I really like how they look when they're layered over other parts of an outfit. This green one's fun because it's got some sort of applique over the top. I can't really tell what's happening. I don't think the green is crochet of the actual dress, but you could easily make it crochet. But I really like that style of, yeah, the loose mesh dress over other clothes. I do worry that it would be maybe a difficult outfit to wear, in that I just feel like you would maybe get stuck to door handles and things like that. But maybe not. Anyway, it's cute though. And then I saw this yellow one. I thought this was such a pretty little crochet summer dress. It looks like it's just granny stitch up the body of the dress, and then granny squares along both sides and at the top, and maybe the straps. It's just so pretty. I think it'd be a really easy one to replicate because it is, yeah, just squares and granny stitches. And then in a similar vein, I saw these two over here, which are really sweet as well. They've got great color combinations going on, and I really like the pattern in the middle, that you could easily sort of replicate that with a granny square for the bodice, and then continue on down for the skirt section. And then still thinking about dresses, I love this orange one. I feel like it's got such a fun 60s feel to it. I really like the idea of pairing a mini dress with a wider sleeve, like a bell sleeve. I feel like in crochet particularly, that would definitely give off a real sort of late 60s feel to it. And I like the colour combinations they've chosen in this one. It's really fun. And then this yellow one I think would be really nice for summertime as well. I like the combination of colours in this one, and also the fact that it's got some varying stitches going through it. I think that would be a nice thing to work on if you're going to make a dress, is just to do a basic shift dress pattern, but then combine a bunch of different stitches you might not usually use to create a lot of texture and interest into the dress. And now I'm still stuck on dresses, and I absolutely love this one. It's made up from granny squares but with a black background, which I love, and it's just a little slip dress kind of shape with some cute bow ties at the shoulders, and I think it would be absolutely perfect. It could be a really good layering piece. You could wear it over stockings or even a long sleeve top underneath in the colder weather, but I think it just looks cute like that with boots or even with knee-high socks it'd be cute. Also, this I think would be a perfect dress to make in a calf length version as well. I just really like all those colours together. I love that it ties in with the black. Obviously I wear a lot of black, so something like this would be perfect because it brings in all those colours, but you can always just accessorize with all your usual black clothing. I really love this one. I actually have a bunch of granny squares that I've made that I've never sort of sewn up into anything, so maybe this would be a good thing to put some of those into. And then moving on from this one, oh yeah, I just saw this cute slip dress, very similar cut, but yeah, with some little love heart granny squares. I don't think I'd probably do love heart ones, but I thought it'd be good to maybe use my sun, moon and star squares to create a kind of 90s version of a little crochet slip dress. All right, we're still in small dress territory, but I really liked this black and white one. I liked the idea that you could just sort of make it up of a few larger granny squares. I think it creates a really nice sort of graphic element to it. And I think the fact that this one is in just black and white works really well. I love that the two colours just brings a really sort of graphic element to it. It makes it look like quite a statement piece, which I think would be nice if that's what you're going for. But it's quite a contrast to something like this, which is very, very colourful, to then move to just the plain black and white. I think is a nice contrast. If you're making a bunch of stuff in a year, why not do a bunch of different stuff? And this leads into the next part of my inspiration in that black and white just seems to be looking really good in crochet at the moment. I love all of these sort of black and white dresses, tops, whatever I'm seeing. I just feel like they look great. The cut of this dress is beautiful. I love that it's got the buttons up the front and just the straps are a continuation of the granny squares. And then these squares I thought were really interesting, the way they were designed to fit together into a larger sort of tile work pattern. I thought looked really beautiful. I could imagine something like a square like this in a cut of dress like this would be an absolute killer. And I really love these squares here. When they're all put together, it creates a real sort of patchwork, almost op art feel to the design, which I think works really well. I can picture this in a coat looking really good, I think. Like something big and bold. And then I just love this cardigan. It's just, I don't have anything like this that I've made. I've done cardigans before, but they've always been a bit more oversized. And I like the idea of doing a smaller, more closer fitting one. And I love these little ties at the front. And yes, not strictly just black and white, but I really love these little daisies combined together. I think having just one little motif repeated throughout the granny squares I think is really cute. And yeah, the predominantly black and white effect of it I think works well. And then thinking about all this black and white crochet, it led me to a different idea which was sort of based around this image, in that maybe crochet trim is something I want to be focusing on a little bit more next year. I absolutely love this set. I think it's just the cutest thing I've ever seen. I can't tell, it doesn't look like the body of the top or the skirt is crochet. It appears to be knit, but the trim around the edges in the contrasting white I think looks great, and you could easily achieve this on any sort of knitwear piece you've got. You could crochet a trim on, so it'd also be a good upcycling project if you've got anything lying around that you maybe want to jazz up a little bit. I also really love the fact that they put a little slit in at the front. It just adds that extra little bit of design detail, which I think is really cute. But yeah, I just love this trim effect. I saw it in this purple as well. This looks more like a blanket stitch, but you could do something similar in crochet, and I think it would just create such a nice little element of detail. And then on these pieces as well, like there's a real focus on the trim in that down the front, and then I think it's almost like a scalloped edge down at the hems and the neckline over here, which is beautiful. I love this, how it's got the mesh background, but then also some embroidery detail on the front. I think that looks super fun. And that leads me into applique on crochet. So we've got like a granny stitch background top, also with some really cute trim around the edges. But then a bunch of cute applique pieces just sewn on the front. I just feel like it's filled with energy and excitement and enthusiasm. I just really love it. And you could sort of do any kind of applique on top to create a really fun look. I really like these ones with the florals. It feels like a very sort of Brady Bunch 60s feel. And then I was thinking, what sort of things could you do as applique? So I did a bit of hunting around, and my God, people are so good at doing these little crochet motifs. There's just some absolute crackers out there. I love this sort of like summertime camping set. It's just so funny. There's little sausages and a barbecue. It's just, honestly, who even thought of that? But imagine all of those on a cute little like picnic shirt or something. It'd be great. And then I really like these vegetable ones. Then a bunch of different houseplants as well. But yeah, there's so many. Like if you can sort of think of a vague theme, you could have a look around and people will have probably made cute little motifs and patches in crochet of it. And I'm sure there's got to be patterns for these out there too. So if you're interested in that, you should definitely have a look around for some patterns, or just try and make up your own, I guess. That'd be pretty fun. With such small little pieces, I guess that'd be probably a pretty fun one to just sit on the couch and have a go of making. See if you can do the right amount of stitches to make a little sausage. I liked this one too, how the shorts have the applique, but then the top is just made completely up of like stitched together little motifs. And this leads into the next thing that I was excited about crocheting for next year. And it's honestly something I've always loved, which is a two-piece set. Yeah, there was just tons of things I was looking at that were two pieces, and I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to make something which is a matching set, but I'm not quite sure what yet. This one here I absolutely love. I really like the spiral motif that they used for the granny squares, and the fact that there's the thicker spiral and then also the thinner spirals put together as well. And it's just, yeah, super cute. I like that there's only two colors in this one as well. It looks really nice together. Also, the longer length of the skirt with the slightly midriff top is cute as well. I think that's a good combo. And then this one here is very similar, sort of just squares put together. I thought the colors were quite cute in this one, but I think maybe prefer to just go for, yeah, a two-tone sort of look. And yeah, here's that one here again, and there's a matching bag as well, which is awesome. I feel like, yeah, a two-piece set is great, but you can always do a 3 or a 4-piece set. No one is going to stop you. I really liked this green one too. I like the idea of just doing a plain color, but making the actual pattern that you use for your crochet stitch the interesting part of the design. I think it looks really good with this longer skirt, but I can also picture this with a mini skirt looking really cute, like a longer line top or shirt with a mini skirt. Oh, and then this one I saw also. I'm really loving the two-tone effect of these colors together, but it made me think that I've never made a hexagon cardigan. I've seen everyone else make them and they do look quite fun, but I like the idea of doing a maybe a small hexagon cardigan in sort of a shirt format. So I like how this one's got the shorter sleeves and it's quite fitted as well. It's not too oversized. I think, yeah, maybe I'll get into hexagon mode and make up a little shirt, a shirt set. I like it with the shorts. I think it's really fun. I don't know if I would wear them, so I think I'd probably do a shorter skirt to go with it. But I reckon as a combo, that would be pretty nice. And then again with the granny squares on the black background, I just feel like this is just such a classic look that you need to have a few of these pieces in your wardrobe if you, yeah, love a bit of retro crochet style. And then this one here, also sticking to sort of some more bolder colours, but doing the granny squares in a single colour each, I think creates a really nice look. And you've got that consistency of using the black for the border between the squares. I think that's really fun. I love it also how they've styled it with the Doc Martens and the little orange sunnies. I feel like that's just such a fun 90s little pop outfit. I love it. And here's some more granny square skirts. The length on these I think is really, really nice, and I like the fact that they've used the same square motif for all the squares. I think this is a really cool look as opposed to these ones where you've sort of mixed your squares up. I feel like using the same pattern in the squares, it does create a really interesting look. I like the trim on the bottom of this one too. It's really nice. And then also that sort of longer length skirt in just a stripe would be cute with 2 different colours, or again using the single colour granny squares and putting them together in a checkerboard pattern. Yeah, I think 2025 is definitely going to be the year in which I make a nice colourful granny square skirt. And now these longer skirts lead me into thinking about shorter skirts. I really like this one. It looks like it's worked with vertical stripes, which is interesting, and maybe it's a little bit of rib up at the waistband. I think it's cute. And then also again, I'm always still thinking about scrappy projects. I know we did a lot of those last year, but I love them. I think they just look so fun. So yeah, I saved this Miu Miu mini skirt, which I think is a really cute shape. It's just so simple and basic, but in that same scrappy pattern that I used for the purse. I thought it would be cute to do a little match for that. And then I saw it as a set with the skirt and the cardigan, and it just looks so good. And then I had a thought, remember my Timothy Chalamet cactus plant flea market cardigan I made last year? It's very similar sort of look in terms of all the coloured stripes. I thought I really need a matching skirt for it, and I think that's definitely going to be one of my projects next year, probably early in the year, because I really want to get started wearing it as a set. The cardigan looks good with other stuff like jeans and dresses and stuff like that, but I feel like being able to pair it with a completely matching skirt in all the exact same sort of colour yarns, I think it would just look really good. But yeah, I reckon that one's going to be a really good project. Also, I feel like it'd be really quick to make up too. I don't think that one's going to take very long at all. I'm still looking at more scrappy stuff. I really like this. I just love the simplicity of something like this, where the stitches just create a little mesh and it's the actual yarn that's sort of doing the heavy lifting in terms of the design. I think is really nice. And then I was sort of looking more at these kind of ones in which the stripes are vertical, which I think when I'm crocheting, I think I tend to think, especially in garments, of working horizontally, row by row up. But I really like this sort of idea of working with vertical pieces and working your stripes vertically, because I feel like you can get some really interesting looks with that. So yeah, this sort of t-shirt is really cute. And then I saw these little tie-up cardigans. Oh, and then this one I loved, also done with vertical stripes, but in a wavy pattern or a zigzag pattern. I just think it looks so fun. It's such a cute little top that you could pair with so many things, but I love the colours they chose to use and the fact that it's just got a little clasp in the front. I just think it looks really cute. And the fact that the waves in the actual panels sit off the shoulders nicely, I feel like it's just got such a fun design. So obviously something like that could be cute. And then that got me thinking, what about just cute little tops? I love a little top because A, they're fun to wear and you can pair them with lots of things. You can layer them with things as well, but also they're really quick to make. And having some quick projects up your sleeve is always fun for when you just get that itch to start something new, but you don't want it to take forever. So still sort of thinking about lots of colourful stuff. I really like this little vest top with a little tie at the front. I think that's got a really nice shape and it'd be a great little stash buster project to use up with some of those leftover cotton yarns that I've got lying around. And then this one, I've had this on my to make list for a while. I really love the pattern of these hexagon granny squares put together in the vest. I think it's such a nice design. Also, it'd be nice to sort of have a bit of a switch between working with granny squares to doing granny hexagons instead, because I feel like I tend to just work with the squares more often, but hexagons are fun and cute. And also I really love all the colours working together in this. I think it's really sweet. I love these ones, just with a standard square, but a little bit of different shaping around the neckline to create this really nice sort of scooped V-neck, which leads into the buttons and the trim. It's just such a pretty design. I feel like it's really got a lot of thought put into the design elements, especially around those trim sections. I think that one's actually based off a vintage pattern. I saw this lady looking very, very vintage, but it appears to be the same pattern. So I think that's really cute. I think that'd be a nice, fun, quick project to make. And here we're still in little top territory, which I really love because I feel like these to here would be really fun to make. This one here I think has a really nice range of different colors. I really like how it's got the semicircle as the main part of the body, and also the fact that it would use different stitches for each row I think is really fun. I feel like that'd be a fun one to make. And then the collar seam crop top is one I've been wanting to make for ages. I've seen a lot of people make this one and wear it on TikTok and Instagram, and it always looks so good. So I think this would be a really fun, pretty quick project. I reckon it wouldn't take long, and I might choose some nice colors and do different color stripes for the different rows. I think that would be cute. But I just really like the more fitted nature of this top, and the different stitches that it uses in the different rows I think is really fun. And so now we're moving from these sort of little tops into tops and vests, but with tapestry crochet as part of the design. And I feel like these are just really fun. This desert design is really cute. And obviously this raccoon guy with the stripes in the background is super fun. I like the idea that you can sort of start bringing in more illustrative styles into crochet rather than just like working with patterns and granny squares. The idea of doing something a bit more illustrative and bringing in some iconography too could be really fun. These cherries look great, and I really like this snake one. And yeah, I just feel like in the silhouette of these sort of smaller tops and vests, it just works really nicely to have that placement of the motif in the middle. Also, tapestry crochet just seems really fun. I haven't really done much of it, so I think it would be something that would be fun to sort of test out in a top. Or even I've seen a lot of people doing wall hangings with tapestry crochet, and just the designs people are doing are so amazing, and the level of detail that people have been getting in their patterns is really good too. I love the simplicity of these ghosts. I just think that's so sweet. This trout I just thought was really funny. I love all the colours in there. It just looks so good. And then the more graphic sort of design style of these ones I really liked, because they just have such a bold, interesting look, which I think would bring a really nice element to like a jumper, or even like making tote bags with these sorts of sort of more graphic design patterns on them would be really fun. And this one I've seen around Pinterest heaps, and I absolutely love it. So it's got the tapestry pattern for the, what is it, oranges? Tangerines. But then the actual design of the top is really cute because it's got these ties on the side and then the mesh stitch on the bottom and edges. And I just feel like it's such a nice, interesting design. I haven't seen something like that. So I think this would probably be a nice one to work off the pattern for and just make it exactly like this one. I even just like the colours of this blue and the tangerine and the green all together. It's so cute. So then, yeah, I was thinking all about tapestry crochet and how it's a really nice way of bringing sort of more illustrative style into crochet. And then I started looking more into filet crochet. I mean, I think it's pronounced filet crochet. There is a slight chance, I guess, it's pronounced filet crochet, like a filet o fish. But I'll call it filet crochet for now. Anyway, it's really fun. It's a very old-fashioned technique, which I haven't worked with before, but you can create some really cool shapes and some really cool designs with it just by using different sort of, like almost like a graph, like some squares are open and then some squares are filled in with your stitch, whatever height stitch you're doing. And I just feel like that'd be a really fun way to do some different designs. I love these cats, they're super cute. And this cherry bag I think is really nice. I love the look of it in a similar way to how I was really enjoying the mesh dresses at the start. I feel like the mesh but with the filet crochet on top is a really nice way to add some extra detail into something that would ordinarily be quite plain. This rabbit guy is just great and funny. I feel like there's so much potential for doing really interesting and unique designs. I love these bunnies and this rose. It's interesting to think of doing this for just the yoke section of a garment and then maybe even using that on top of a sewn piece to sort of combine crochet and sewing together. I think would be really nice. Or you could just do a top or a skirt or a dress or whatever completely using filet crochet. These ones are both really pretty. I like how this one's got the additional sort of scalloped details around the neckline and the hems too. And then this one I thought was fun. I think it's like, yeah, just a little sort of one you'd put over and then tie at the sides. You'd put it over a dress and it looks so sweet. But I thought that was a really nice design too. And then I was thinking, this is all very delicate crochet work, but maybe for the next thing I want to think about making, I want a big cozy coat, I think. Just something huge, something that almost feels like you're wearing a blanket rather than just wearing a coat. And because granny square blankets are so iconic, I feel like making a granny square coat would sort of give that really cozy, lived in a blanket feeling. I really love the length of this one, having it longer at knee length, and also just making sure the arms are really baggy, I think works really well. I love the different sort of colours that are used in these squares, but the fact that it's still got the black there to tie it all together. This one I thought was super cute, using the little flower motif, but in all different colours. I like how that they kept the centre of the flower as the yellow the whole way through. I think that's a really nice little design detail. And again, this one looks quite long, which I think would be really cute. These ones have bigger squares than the other one I was looking at before. I like that idea of having lots of rounds in the squares. I think that looks really good. But again, the black ties it all together, and it also looks like it's got a little bit of a scalloped trim around the edges and the bottom. And this one, I really like the shape of it. It feels like it's a really sort of big, oversized, boxy cardigan, but the squares are such interesting ones. I haven't really seen ones like that before, but they've got such a nice style to them. And the colour choices are all really good. I love, everything about this coat is absolutely perfect. Oh, and this one is really good because I feel like, yes, it has that cozy coat feeling, but it also brings in this sort of patchwork element, which I think would be nice to sort of explore a bit more with crochet, because you can do so much with different crochet shapes that it'd be interesting to make some different shaped granny squares and then see if you could sort of come up with an interesting patchwork style way of piecing them all together. And I think a big coat would be a great sort of canvas for doing a project like that on, because you'd have so much sort of space to work with. So you could really see how some of those design details of the different shapes that you could choose to put together would work. I feel like that would be a really fun one. And then the big coat is going to be a really big project, so I think we'll need a little palette cleanse and do quite a small project. And my go-to for small projects is always a bag, because A, they're really handy and just so good to have around, but also it's a great way to test out different techniques or different granny squares or different colour palettes. And yeah, I don't know, you can never go wrong with a bag. I thought the patterning on this one was really cute. I love this square flower motif. I think that's really fun. And I love the orange and white together. I think it's a really nice colour combo. I really liked the patterning on this one, similar to the Lil Tops I was looking at before, the Colosseum one and the other one. It'd be nice to make a bag where every row was a different colour and a different stitch pattern. I think that looks really fun. These fruit market bags, I've seen a bunch of these in different types of fruits and they always look so good. So yeah, it's like the overall bag folds up into the little bag, and it's just perfect for, you know, going to the supermarket, and it's just, yeah, really cute and fun. And the other thing I like about bags is because they're quite small and you put them with an outfit, you can make them quite whimsical, and I feel like there's lots of opportunity to do interesting designs with bags. So I really like these flower one. I feel like that would look good with just tons of outfits. Again, here's another Realm Designs pattern. I just really like the idea of a 4 square bag. I feel like it's a great opportunity to showcase these flower granny squares look really cute, but also you could use any other sort of squares. I saw these 4 and I was like, oh, they would make a really cute bag as well. And I thought these squiggle ones were really fun. I haven't done any squiggle granny squares, but I thought that could be a cool little project to learn on. And then we're finishing it off with something very whimsical, and I love it, is this fish bag. It just seems like such a fun little summer bag to make. I love that it's got like this sort of diamond pattern for the scales of the fish. I think that just looks so fun. It's a really good design detail. And the fact that they made a little starfish to go on the side and change the colour of that, just so to add a little bit extra detail. And even this little eye on for him. I don't know. I just feel like that fish is really cute. But yeah, again, I love the idea of having a little bag that's a little bit whimsical. So yeah, maybe a fish bag would be cute, but I also really love lobsters and crabs. I feel like they just look awesome. So maybe we could try and make a lobster bag for summer. And that's the end of the Pinterest board. I Really love everything I pinned on here, obviously, because I pinned it. It was all the things I was interested in, but hopefully you like some of it too. If there's anything on here that you're thinking of making, drop me a comment below and let me know, because I'd love to know what you're working on. I'm just so amazed by all the incredible stuff people are making at the moment. There's been such a renaissance of crochet at the moment, and it's interesting to see all the different directions people are taking their craft into, and I love getting to see that. I'm excited about making some of these things. I'm going to try and whittle it down to maybe 10 or 20 projects I definitely want to do next year, and maybe I'll come back with another video about those. And if there's specific patterns I'm going to be making, like the Realm Designs flower dress, which is coming up very soon, maybe you want to make it too, and it could be fun to make it together. So feel free to join me over on TikTok or Instagram, and we can be buddies there. We can be buddies here. And thank you for watching, and I hope you have fun thinking about what you want to crochet next year.